Taylor, 8 billion people. We're there already, right? We just hit 8 billion?
Yes, we just passed 8 billion people in the world.
The achievement, let's go.
Yes, condoms suck.
What? Yes.
Very.
What? We got to 8 billion because people are using condoms. Taylor, go.
Yes. So we made it. We got to 8 billion people. And the question is it too much, right? I mean, for so many years, we were indoctrinated, or at least like there was people like Paul Ehrlich, who was, if you see here, the 8 billion people, Paul Ehrlich, who was a Stanford University, and he was not only a teacher, but he wrote papers. He had the population bomb. I don't know if any of you guys have heard it, but some of his predictions were from 1970 to 1980s, 100 million people would die from starvation. And his whole theory was too much people, more people will create chaos through starvation and death. And so my question to all of you, because this person went to Stanford, he was a professor there. This paper, he was all over TV talking about it. This was the theory that was obviously incorrect. The school system and political leaders, there was a very anti-human movement. Everything's about the earth, and we don't want to have more people. And the only way to limit population is either not have babies or kill babies. And so school system, political leaders, what is your guys' thought on, is the culture still going the route of having less children, or are we starting to see a tipping point? And what role does education play in the role of our culture when it comes to birth and family?
Well, I personally think overpopulation is nonsense. I think, like Elon even said this, and I agree, because we're on planes a lot, and we'll be flying over the United States. Do you know how much empty land, just the United States in general, the hell with the world, right? Even just the United States. You could fly over any point and drop a ball, whatever, and you won't hit anybody. The odds of you hitting a human being is so slim. I think the overpopulation from the elites is just an arrogant way. They think that we're sucking up all the natural resources, and they want us to die. They literally want you here. I think Bill Gates, all these people, all the shit that they do, all the stuff in the air, the food being horrible, all the cancers, all the everything, they think that there's too many of us. They genuinely think that there's too many of us.
I just looked it up as you were talking, that there is allegedly 9 million food-related deaths a year, hunger-related deaths a year. But I think the issue with that is it's not so much about overpopulation as it is just about corruption and poorly run government in what we call developing or third world nations. At some point, there will be too many people for the natural resources that are out there. And I was just on the plane yesterday flying from Montreal to here and watched a documentary called Caught, which is about the bycatch killing dolphins off the coast of France, the Sea Shepherd, and their involvement in all of that. And to some extent, yeah, there is a lack of sustainability in terms of some resources, but nothing that human ingenuity and science can't take care of. So the greater risk could be population collapse in certain areas, because you have a population that needs to be maintained, and it's not going to be maintained if the younger people are not reproducing enough to take care of the older generation.
100%.
There's a number. I don't know what the number is.
Well, and that's what they found, right? When you have more people, you have more brain power, you get more ingenuity, and you get more innovation, all of those things. So from a cultural standpoint, do you think we're coming back to more family-oriented? People want to have kids because, like the whole thing, crazy cat lady, no kids. That's kind of been the culture for a long time now, and it shows when you think of, we can't have more people because our world isn't going to be able to sustain it. Where do you feel the culture is going?
What do you think, Alberto?
Well, man, I don't know how people get away talking this nonsense, all right? You see all these guys from the WEF and Bill Gates where we're too many people. You know what that means? Like, we need to either kill some people or, like, stop some people from reproducing. Yep. Like, I'm not comparing to the Nazis, but they're trying to do some kind of population control of certain people, because I bet my bottom dollar that they're not going to kill their children,
of course,
or their friends,
no,
or the alumni from Harvard. Like, they're going to just kill poor people, And then to put this in perspective, okay, 8 billion sounds like a lot, right?
Yeah.
How much space do you think 8 billion will take, like, shoulder to shoulder?
Shoulder to shoulder where? In the United States?
Anywhere. I don't know where you want to put them.
8 billion people? How many do we have here? How many?
Packed like sardines. What size of land?
Like like half America?
No, not even
close.
It's going to be like Delaware.
Oh, one state?
I think they would fit in one state.
Okay, when we were 5 billion, because this was the comparison, it was about the size of New York. All right.
What? That's small.
New York City or New York State?
New York City.
Oh, and you're talking about
All
just
right?
like lined up.
Listen,
Yeah, like
and,
sardines.
and no, shoulder to shoulder packed.
Yeah.
And now, if we grab the 8 billion people and put them shoulder to shoulder, I don't know if anyone know what Cyprus is.
Cyprus?
Like, it's an island in Europe.
Small.
Yeah, it's a small island in Europe. You could fit the whole world population shoulder to shoulder there. All right. And I think I might be wrong on this. You can fact check my math. I think you could fit with the same density as New York City. You can fit the whole world population in Texas. All right.
Wow.
Like people, like I traveled the world and I drove a lot around weird places. You know, Morocco and Chile,
Area
and
51.
Area 51, whatever. But a few times, you know, it happened that I've been driving for a whole day and I didn't see another human being.
Yeah.
Well, I drove from Austin to New Mexico to Albuquerque, and it took 8 hours to get out of the state of Texas. The issue is not the population per se, but the waste, the strain on natural resources. But it's like humans will die on this planet if they don't leave this planet, and I think Elon sort of has that long-term vision. When the sun goes nova or whatever and wipes out the Earth, any trace of human existence will cease to exist, and so we're doomed to die on this planet if we don't escape it. And so you don't do that by shrinking the population. But you talk about the Nazi era stuff. They sterilize children in Africa with their vaccines. They experiment on people. They, may have had contributed to this dip in the population, which we're going to see right now, to this population collapse in certain areas. So they are genuinely sinister and evil people.
And they're
They are.
pro-abortion, which kills how many millions of babies a year?
Oh, there's
and-
more. I mean, I think there was a point in time in New York, if you were a black woman, there was more chance you were going to get an abortion than you're actually going to have your baby. So
Oh.
statistically, if you were in a mother's womb, too, back in the day in the U.S., we actually had sterilization laws where it was like forced sterilization for certain subgroups of people because they were trying to limit the population, whether it be for certain races or if you were poor and they didn't want you. There was like a whole case early
Yeah, it was
on in like
the Buck decision.
Yeah,
where,
and
where they talked about they authorized sterilization of idiots, and I'm using the
exactly
word quote,
idiots. Yeah, that was like the case. So there always is this population control, anti-human, and what really equated to 100 million people dead. Communism. The thing that the same people will then
that's
try
why I
to
love
bring in the
this stuff.
education system to say like, hey, this is actually what's going to make you free and what's going to make you better is the exact same philosophy that killed 100 million people.
Well, and it's not too far from the number. Vinny, you asked the question, how many people are killed by abortions
Yeah.
each year? It's 73 million.
70 million babies. get-
73 million babies
a
killed
year.
a year
Wow.
global. And in the United States, 1 million babies.
A million babies. Wow. A
That
million.
is a lot of people.
That's a lot of human beings, bro.
Because there's only two ways to prevent. Either you don't have them or you kill them. And at the end of the day, like, we all are going to die. You know what I mean? Stop trying to play God.